Mike Tirico along with my partner Greg Olson. It's Will Lutz, the kicker, who gets this started. And off we go here from Mile High. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin there. So here come the Patriots, and Greg, they are led by their second-year quarterback, the number 3 overall pick in 2024 out of North Carolina. It's Drake May.
There's just certain guys, Mike, when they take the field and they step into the huddle, the other 10 players, they just take a little bit of a deeper breath. They're like, man, I'm glad this guy is on our side, and he's certainly one of them. He just brings an element of confidence to everybody else around him, not only in the huddle, but on the sideline, on the defense, the coaching staff. Everyone is better as the result of him being your quarterback.
Once more, it's Henderson. He'll work his way forward for about 3 yards. Riley Moss, the corner, is there to end it.
And after that short run, puts them a little bit closer to the first down marker, and they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
An early test to start this one. 3rd and inches. They'll run the sneak. And he'll have the first down. He'll get him up around the 37.
It's a gain of a yard.
When done correctly, Mike, this is just such a high percentage call. It's kind of hard to choose another play off their call sheet. It's impossible to defend. You can know it's coming, stack the box, whatever you want to do. But most of the time, they'll just drive forward and pick up the first down.
Made out on 1st and 10. To the left side, he's got Henry. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
They'll go play action with May. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, it just ends up being a wasted down.
Throwing on 3rd down is May. Open man is Douglas. It's complete. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. They get 25 on that connection. Good for a Patriots first down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
They'll try the jet sweep with Diggs. And he'll be met in the backfield and dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
Tried to get a little cute here, get the ball into the hands of one of their receivers in space on a jet motion, but really nice job there by the defense. When you can set good edges and you can have good force players on the perimeter of the defense, there's really nowhere for this jet sweep to go, because with them running horizontal before the snap, Mike, it's very hard for these receivers to cut and get vertical.
And he'll be taken down after a gain of 9, and 3rd down coming up.
A gain of 9.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
On 3rd and 2, it's May. And that is incomplete. Contact occurred just as the ball was arriving. There are no flags. It's 4th down.
But here we find the best laid plans sometimes do go astray. Every offense, Mike, what do they tell us? We want to stay ahead of the chains. We want to stay on schedule. This was a 3rd and very reasonable. Incomplete on that 3rd down try. Now brings up 4th and short.
And he will have that first down. Taking a chance here early in the game, but they convert on 4th down.
And this is the blueprint, Mike. The ability to sustain and maintain possession and methodically move the ball down the field in the process. The defense has had no answers up until this point, and now the next step is, can they come away with 6? Because anything less than that, after this long drive would be a bit of a letdown.
And he's going to be bottled up quickly after a gain of about 1. Alex Singleton, they're on the tackle.
Second and 8.
From the 22 now, here's 2nd and 8. Look wide, get this one complete. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
It's a gain of 6, and it's 3rd down.
A lengthy opening drive. Now comes to this. It is 3rd down. Operating from the shotgun, it's May. That is incomplete. Great work to get in there, make things difficult defensively, and it sets up 4th down.
So prior to that 3rd down call, Mike, I thought they put themselves in a pretty good situation. At that down and distance, they had run and pass, both at their disposal, but nice job by the defense being up to the task. Force the incomplete, brings up 4th down.
He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but we have a chance for the first points of this game as they've set up 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Well, this is how you dream up the opening script. You get the ball first, and you want to go down and set the tone for the rest of the game. Well, looks like the coaches did a great job when they built that script during the week. With that big time.
And he barrels his way into the end zone. Travion Henderson. Touchdown, Patriots.
Patriots.
A terrific way to start this one. Not only a touchdown, but a nice long march down the field. Makes it a long walk back to the bench for the defense.
Mike, that's about as good as you can imagine starting a game offensively. To be able to sustain that many plays and be able to cap it off with a touchdown, that is a dream start for this offense.
Now Andres Borregales for the extra point. He's got it, and the Patriots will take a 7-0 lead.
Patriots 7, Broncos 0.
So following the touchdown, Borregales is back to send this one away. On the return, here comes Marvin Mims. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. So the Broncos come out, and Greg, they are led by their QB of the future. Found their guy with the 6th quarterback selection in the 2024 draft. 2nd season now for Bo Nix.
Well, it didn't take long for Bo Nix to establish himself as a bona fide starter in this league, winning the position with the Broncos as a rookie. He has all the intangibles, but really what sticks out the most, Mike, is the amount of starts he made in college. It's kind of similar to Brock Purdy. Very experienced at the college level. Let's see how that carries over here to the NFL level.
A run with the Central Florida R.J. Harvey. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 16
A gain there of 16 yards. 1st down, Broncos.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
Nice chunk here in this good-looking drive. Pickup of 14 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Really nice job there, Mike. I mean, he sees the blitz coming and just gets the ball out of his hands. Understand where your outlets are. It results in an easy pitch and catch and move the chains.
That's going to be caught. It's Marvin Mims. And he's close to another 1st down. He's brought down just shy of the marker.
On the pickup
I'm not sure what was the more difficult aspect of the play, winning his route versus man coverage or catching this pass, because that quarterback, he put a little extra sauce on that one to get it there on time, and he's able to secure a really nice catch.
The catch made there by Sutton. And he'll be taken down after a gain of 3, but that is good enough for a first down.
That's another
And he's come out of the game on fire here, Mike, early. He's yet to throw an incompletion on this opening drive, and as he now approaches the opponent's side of the field and they start thinking points on that other sideline, this defensive play caller has to be looking at that call sheet saying, what can I do to slow this guy down? Because with the way this game has started, he could be in for a big day.
And he will carry his offense to the red zone. Inside the 20-yard line, a pickup of 9.
The best time to call a draw is when the defense is playing a pass situation, so a down and distance that screams pass. You want those defensive linemen ripping up the field thinking, I'm going to go sack the quarterback. In this case, they time it perfectly, hands the ball off to the back, big pickup.
And the Broncos are going to have first and goal, trying to finish off this drive with a touchdown.
That's good for a
They get 14 yards and set up first and goal.
At the 5-yard line.
The story of this drive has just been their ability to sustain and get fresh sets of down. Now, in this case, after picking up that big gain on the ground, they find themselves first and goal.
Good blocking, and he's in. Tyler Bidet. Touchdown, Broncos.
And what a response by this offense. It's not easy taking the field, Mike, for the first time in the game, and you find yourself already down a score. They watch their opponent kind of march down the field and score on the opening possession, and they're able now to go out and square it on up. Allows you to take a deep breath, maybe get a little confidence for your defense to go out and get a stop, and they come over with this extra point. We got ourselves a tie ball game.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos come right back to tie it at 7. Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. On the return, Travion Henderson. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Patriots offense going to take over now for the second time. All even here in this opening quarter. And the drive will begin with first down. May going to look to throw. Pass completed to Douglas. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
10 yards on the big.
He's made his presence felt throughout this opening quarter. They better figure out a way to slow him down defensively. Otherwise, he's in store for a monster game.
An enviable spot to operate from. Here's second and inches. Here's May. Trip pass caught by Henry, the tight end. And they'll get him down after a gain of 5, but that is enough for a first down.
First down.
This play is actually really well defended here. But I'll tell you, Mike, as you know, my philosophy is the tight end is always open, and this just supports my case.
Here's May to throw it on first down. That's complete to Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line. That pickup good for 29 yards.
First down. A gain of 29 yards. And a Patriot first down.
You can't run plays like this, Mike, if you don't have incredible pass protection. I mean, he started on the left side of the formation, and look how far he had to go across the field before that ball was caught. That's going to take time. That's going to take a lot of trust in that quarterback, in his protectors, to know he can stand tall in that pocket and wait for his receiver to break open.
That's another first down, another big play. The defense has some issues. Gain of 18.
Really nice explosive play there on the ground, and tell you what, for these fans sitting in the stadium, they're not used to seeing their home team pushed around, so continue to be physical at the line of scrimmage, mix in the runs with the pass, and if they can continue to generate these big explosive runs, I don't think they need to go away from it.
At the 7-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
May to throw on 2nd down. And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. Didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up 3rd down.
They just have to be more creative with their route concepts, Mike. I mean, there's nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball, and quarterback's just forced to throw that one away.
From the gun, on 3rd down, it's May. And he'll just have to throw this one away. There was nowhere to go downfield. And now it's going to bring up a 4th down.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan. And then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play him man-to-man. And it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away. It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone, and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
After the made field goal, back out is Borregalis to kick this one away. On the return, here's Mims. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. The Broncos offense ready to take over for their 2nd possession. They'll start out 1st down and 10. From the shotgun, here's Nix. That's caught right side, it's Franklin. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40. Terrific starter there. Gain of 15 and a 1st down.
First down.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get him the ball, pick up the 1st down.
And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this 1st quarter.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up
a touchdown apiece here in the 1st quarter of play. The Patriots out on top. Greg and I back in Denver in just a moment. The Broncos in possession of the football to begin the 2nd quarter. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 4. As we are ready to get back underway. Here's Harvey. Able to make one man miss, but that's all. They get him. Take him down behind the line.
Of scrimmage.
He sniffed that one out from the jump. I mean, once he diagnosed and knew where the ball was going, he got there in a hurry, and he put an end to that play really before it ever got started.
This is 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. And that is incomplete. Contact, but no flags. It's going to be 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on 3rd down? It's something these teams stress all week. Here's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up 4th down.
And he didn't get the check he was hoping for on that one. That goes into the end zone, and it's a touchback. So now the New England offense getting ready for their next possession with a solid start so far. Touchdown and a field goal on their first 2 possessions. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's May. Throw over the middle, and they can't connect. It's incomplete. He was looking for Stephon Diggs there, and that will lead to a 2nd down.
It's one of those balls where the quarterback wishes there was a string. The second it came out of his hand, he wished he could just pull it back, because from the moment it left his hand, that looked like a sure interception. And The only reason it wasn't because the defender just flat out dropped it.
Catch is made. That is Williams. So he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up third down.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend.
They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. On the handoff, Henderson. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield. Give him 12 on that one. They are on the march. Another first down.
When you go out and invest in a young guy like this to be part of your backfield's future, you got to find ways to get him involved early, and I think here's a case of doing just that.
On 1st and 10, here's May. He's found his receiver, Butte. And he'll be run out of bounds. It's a good gain. On 1st down, they pick up 7 yards.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 2. Handoff, and it's Henderson. And he will keep the drive moving. Gets the first down. Nice gain of 5.
So, Mike, you know by now my philosophy on 3rd down. If it was up to me, I don't even want to be in 3rd down. I want to get all of my conversions on 1st and 2nd down and be able to stay in those neutral down situations. So it's exactly what they do here. They lean on the ground game and pick up a fresh set of downs.
And he'll get forward for about a yard. Dre Greenlaw in on the tackle.
At the 34-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Henderson. And he moves down to the 25. That's good enough for a first down.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Patriots first down.
They're doing a really nice job of keeping this defense on their heels with this balanced attack. We've seen them be effective both run and pass, and right now the defense just doesn't seem to have an answer.
On 1st down, they go back to Henderson, and he'll get about 5.
And he has been a handful to deal with throughout this entire contest, Mike, and they came into the game saying we want to impose our will on the defense, and that's exactly what they've been able to do.
From the 20, here's 2nd down and 5. A run, and this is Henderson. And he is not going to get away. Might have gotten a yard, but it will set up 3rd down.
A gain of a yard on the play brings up 3rd and 4.
It's the tight end, Henry, in motion. 3rd and short. And here is May. That is caught back corner of the end zone. Demario Douglas. Touchdown, New England.
And that was just a great drive. Really from start to finish, Mike, you could see the play caller just really finding his rhythm, mix in run, mix in pass. Results in the touchdown pass, but really everything they did, the entire possession worked to perfection. When you can sustain the drives like that and come away with touchdowns, man, that goes a long way towards establishing your identity for the rest of this game.
The extra point now for Borregales. He's got it. And the Pats will get out in front, 17-7.
17. Broncos 7.
So following the touchdown, Borregales is back to send this one away. This returnable from the 4. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Back onto the field comes the Denver offense. They find themselves down 17-7 as this drive starts 1st and 10. Back to throw is Nix. He's going to take a shot down the field. And he's down inside the 40-yard line. A big-time play for the Broncos. 39 yards.
Both pre-snap and post-snap, this is about as well done as you can do at the quarterback position. Get in and out of the right call, identifying the holes along the back end, and then the throw. You can't put it in a better spot. I mean, that's just a big-time play.
And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Patriots' 13-yard line.
They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Now Nick's going to look to throw. That's to the end zone, but just too far out in front. That one's incomplete. Evan Ingram, the intended target. And it's going to be 3rd down.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
Been a good drive, but they need to convert here on 3rd and 5. Taking off, he'll try to get there.
Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be, Mike, when he decides to tuck it and take off. So that is a great job defensively to rally to the football and hold him to just a short gain.
No move for the field goal unit. They're going to line up and go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, here's Nix. He pulls it in around the 5. And they will get the conversion. He's tackled down near the goal line, so it's not a touchdown, but it will be 1st and goal.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
And he'll go down back at the 4-yard line.
A loss of 2.
In these goal-to-go situations backed up on your own goal line, Mike, what they teach the defense is it's your job to establish a new line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what they did here. Watch the push they get. The offensive line goes backwards, and they take the ball carrier down for a loss.
It is brought in the end zone. Troy Franklin. Touchdown, Denver.
And what a fitting end to this drive, Mike. It only makes sense that he's the one that gets the ball in the end zone after making a handful of clutch plays prior to the touchdown. That was just a textbook example of one guy taking over the game.
Lutz for the extra point. The kick is good. The Broncos are back to within a field goal. It's 17-14.
Broncos 14.
So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. This one taken at the 7. Ooh. A very good field position to start as the return is past the 40. The Patriots offense and their running back, Travion Henderson, making their way back out there. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. He'll go left side here and complete this one. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line. They get 13 to begin the drive. It's a 1st down.
1st down, Patriots.
Douglas in motion. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
Defense.
To throw on 1st down is May. Pass caught right side by Henry. After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
Into the end zone. Ramondre Stevenson. Touchdown, Patriots.
You just don't see these kind of holes too often at this NFL level, Mike, and you can see once he got the ball, the clear line to the end zone, he doesn't get touched, and an unfortunate defensive breakdown here ends up costing him 6 points.
Borregales now for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Patriots go up by 10. 24-14 is their lead. So following the touchdown, Borregales is back to send this one away. On the return, here's Mims. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense headed back to take over once more. The deficit is 10, 24-14. So work to do as they come up for 1st and 10. On the zone read, this is Nix. And he'll be met in the backfield and drop behind the line of scrimmage.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
So after the loss on 1st, here's 2nd and 14. Throwing is Nix. We'll get that complete to Franklin. Well, that helps. It's going to be a much more manageable 3rd down, getting some good yardage on that 2nd down play.
Let's give some credit to this offensive line. Once they identified the blitz, you could see them communicating with one another to make sure everybody is on the same page, and that's what gave the quarterback enough time and found the open man.
On the bootleg, it's Nix, and that is incomplete.
And the best offense on 3rd downs, Mike, is to be really good on 1st and 2nd down. This keeps teams from putting themselves in these unfavorable positions. It's part of the reason why these drives continue to stall out.
Here's Jeremy Crawshaw now. He'll punt for the 2nd time after hitting a beauty in his 1st effort. On the return is Jones. But he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. The Patriots offense about ready to take over once more. Their lead is 10. They go back to work trying to add to it. He's inside the 40. Inside the 20. And what an effort after the catch. He goes all the way. 73 yards. Touchdown, New England. The extra point now for Broncos. He knocks it through. And the Pats add on one more as they extend their second quarter lead.
14.
So following the touchdown, Broncos is back to send this one away. On the return, here's Mims. And he's down at the 23, and that's where the offense will take over. The Broncos offense ready for this next possession. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Drive starts on the ground, and this is Harvey. He plunges forward for a couple of yards. Robert Spillane spills him there.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Here's Nix to throw. Now they'll set up the screen for Harvey. And he's got it to the 35-yard line. The screen works for 10 yards and a 1st down.
And this is why most teams, Mike, decide to take the ball first after the halftime break, because they want to be able to control this middle 4. At the end of the first half, you can use your timeout. You can use some strategy to steal an extra possession. If they're able now to go down and come away with points, they'll have a chance to double it up again right after the halftime break.
They get 24 on that one. Good for a Denver 1st down.
And now you can see they're really getting in rhythm in this 2-minute drive. Now, after that last completion, Mike, they cross midfield. Now the mindset goes to, all right, we got to come away with some points. They've got a quarterback who's in complete control, and they got to see if they can finish this thing off.
These two in rhythm. 12 more yards and a 1st down.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the second quarter. It's been a bit of a pedestrian game for this quarterback and ultimately this passing game here today, Mike, and I know they all would have loved to connect on that deep throw. I think that stat sheet would have looked a whole lot different, but just a little off in their execution and leads to an incompletion.
He connects with Mims. Now the Broncos going to use the first of their timeouts. They stop it here with just under 40 seconds until halftime.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Third down and 3. Throwing. Nix. Got it into the hands of Mims. Now the Patriots going to use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in the second quarter. The field goal unit staying put. They're going to line up and go for this on 4th down. Eating the tough yards, they'll go with their fullback. And he's not going to get there. The defense was ready for it, and they stuff him on 4th down.
All right, Mike, so think back to earlier in this game. The coach decides to be aggressive. He's successful on 4th down. He decides to do it again. This time, the defense has other ideas and comes up with a huge 4th down stop.
He's closing in on 200 receiving yards for the game, and we haven't hit halftime yet. A definite storyline to follow closely. Maybe adds to it here as they embark on this next drive. That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down.
And I think I want to see a little bit more of this style from this defense. The key, Mike, is at that catch point, you want to create as much contact and be physical. Separate the ball from the intended receiver, and it's a great example there.
Throwing on 2nd down. May. Will get about 6 before he's taken down. New England going to take their 2nd timeout, and the stoppage comes with 23 seconds left on the first half clock. Here's a 3rd down and 4. On play action, here's May. That ball is caught on the sideline and both feet inbounds. A big 3rd down pickup for a 1st down.
And the Patriots.
It's a 1st down and a gain of 13.
At the 39-yard line.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success.
The Pats going to stop it here. They'll use their 3rd and final timeout, and it'll come with 15 seconds to play in this first half. Here's 2nd and 2. Throw again is May. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
And their only realistic chance to end the half with points is to throw the ball near the sideline, gain as many yards as you can, and then hopefully either get yourself in position to kick the field goal or at the very least in position where you can attempt a Hail Mary.
3rd and 2. Here we go. May to the air once more. He'll find his tight end. That's Henry. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a 1st down.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. We welcome you back on EA Sports for quarter number 3. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The 3rd quarter is underway. This taken in at the 8-yard line. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense looking to get back to work as we begin this 3rd quarter. The deficit is 17, so they got to start cutting into it soon. See if it starts here. 1st and 10. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down.
7-yard line. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Now this looks like a design run, and no place to go. He's hit and taken down behind the line.
You saw the guard take a pass set, Mike. He's hoping that defensive tackle just races up the field, trying to sack the quarterback, and then you just hand the ball off to your back on a draw. In this case, the defensive tackle does a great job going from pass to run, and he's able to take the back down for a loss.
Nix from the gun on third down. That is caught! And they are not going to catch up to him. He will score! 73 yards. Touchdown, Denver. They get the job done in the air. Greg, that is a play we see often. It's also a play we see work very often.
Mike, that 4 vertical route, it puts a ton of pressure on the secondary. But in order to do that, you have to give your quarterback time for those receivers to get downfield. Give credit to the offensive line. That's exactly what they did. They're able to take advantage for the strike.
Here's Lutz now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Broncos are able to cut the deficit to 10.
31. Broncos 21.
So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. On the return, Travion Henderson. Now an opening past the 30. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Patriots offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. They're going to be looking to possibly push this to a 3-score advantage. Work to do on this drive. 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Henderson to start this drive. A gain of 4 as he's taken down.
He's done a really nice job making the most of his touches. They've made it a priority. Let's use this ground game to try to wear down the defense. And right now, it's one of the main reasons why they have the lead.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Henderson. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield. It's a pickup of 13 yards. 1st down, New England.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest. And while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
Sure pass caught by Henry, the tight end. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. 13 pretty lucky here. Back-to-back gains of 13. And another 1st down.
These hitch routes, they're usually just designed to pick up a few safe yards. An easy completion, get some rhythm for your quarterback. However, this time, he's able to make a little magic happen after the catch and turn it into something much bigger than even they were probably anticipating.
And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Well, this play, Mike, was clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
Off the play fake, it's May. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a 1st down.
And a Patriot 1st down.
Now, so far here today, putting points on the board certainly hasn't been a problem, and plays like that are why. Think about it, Mike. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you and not force something that's not there, and that mid-range pass results in a fresh set of downs.
Trying to get it to Kyle Williams there. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd down.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
It's the tight end Henry in motion. They'll run. It's Henderson. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Some defensive ends specialize in getting after the quarterback. Some defensive ends specialize in run game. This guy can really make an impact on both, as we saw here for that tackle for loss.
It is 3rd and long. From out of the gun, here's May. That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Dre Greenlaw.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's positioning. Being able to get himself to a spot, to get his hands on the ball, and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, that's a touchdown, and instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field.
The Broncos offense and their wide receiver getting ready to get back to work. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Harvey. And he's got this up close to the 35-yard line. Give him 14 on that play. One first down.
For a Broncos first down.
The ability to be effective on first down, Mike, it just makes everything else easier. In the event you do have to face a 3rd down the road, they're usually a lot more manageable situations, a lot easier to convert.
And that'll be a pickup of 3.
He's brought down at the 37-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
So, from the 37, here's 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, here's Nix. Jack Gibbons gets it for a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down.
Through the first half, it was clear. This pass protection, this offensive line unit, they were clearly up for the challenge. The pass rush was non-existent. But here in the second half, you can sense a little bit more urgency. You can see them start playing with a little more speed and intensity, and it pays off there with their first sack of the day.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. To throw is Nix. And that is incomplete.
Intended for Cortland.
Missed opportunities like these are a big reason why they find themselves down double digits here in the 3rd quarter, Mike. Points on this possession could have gone a long way towards making this game competitive, but instead, poor execution, especially in the passing game, and it's another wasted drive.
And how about that? Nice return there, picking his way up past the 35-yard line. The Patriots offense and Drake May making their way back out. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. May gonna look to throw. To the left side, he's got Henry. He'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
So anytime you decide to blitz, the hope is that the secondary can hold up long enough to allow the extra pressure guys to get to the quarterback. But when you don't get to the quarterback and he's able to get the ball on time and in rhythm, there are holes in the back end, and they're able to pick up the first down.
And he'll get maybe a yard. That's it. Dre Greenlaw in on the tackle.
Down at the 42-yard line. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
3rd and 5. Working out of the gun. It's May. This one broken up. It's incomplete. Good job separating the receiver from the ball, and it is 4th down.
And that's exactly how you teach it. They want these defenders to time the hit, that right when the ball gets there, you separate the receiver from the ball. And those are the ones on offense, man. You just have to make that catch, Mike. I know it's easier said than done, but you know the hit's coming. You've got to squeeze that thing, brace for impact, and make that play for your offense.
The Broncos offense and running back R.J. Harvey heading back to the field. They need to start making some inroads here. Down 2 scores as they begin this drive with 1st down. On the bootleg, he'll look to throw. There's a short one taken by Ingram. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but first down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Harvey. And he's going to have the Broncos first down. As he gets it up past the 30, they'll mark him at the 32.
2nd down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a first down.
On first down, they'll stick with Harvey. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line. A gain of 11 on that one. First down, Broncos.
Finding yourself down here, multiple scores in the second half. The defense is going to give you some friendly run looks, so don't be afraid to mix it in there. But if you're going to find yourself coming back from this deficit, you're going to have to do it primarily through the air with just a little bit of mix of the run.
It'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 46-yard line.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. Toss left side, that's Harvey. Oh, and the rookie puts it on the deck. It's a fumble.
And with all this talk about ball security, I can tell you firsthand, Mike, a lot of it just becomes mental. It's like the more you think about it, the more you stress it in practice, it almost gets worse. It's one of those things that when it starts to spiral, it's just hard to pull yourself out.
So now the New England offense getting ready for their next possession. They'll have a short field. And remember now, all turnovers must be reviewed by replay. So this one is going to need a little closer look. At issue was the knee or any other body part except the hand down before the ball comes loose. And are the visuals convincing enough to overturn the call on the field? So that one overturned. They say the runner was down, and that will not be a fumble. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. And that one's incomplete. They really ratcheted up the coverage there, and they force 4th down.
I understand it's 3rd down and the quarterback's trying to make a play, Mike, but if you're going to make a dangerous throw on 3rd down and you're going to force the ball into tight coverage, at least do it past the sticks. Try to pick up that first down and maintain possession. He tries to thread the needle, ball falls incomplete, and now brings up 4th down.
And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. The Patriots offense and Drake May making their way back out. And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. They'll begin it on the ground with Henderson. He'll try to push forward. He'll wind up getting 3 yards with that one. Riley Moss, the corner, is there to end it.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
From the 24 now, here's 2nd down and 6. Once more, it's Henderson. And he'll bring this to about the 25. Trey Greenlaw in on the tackle.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Here now, 3rd and 5. Operating from the shotgun, it's May. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete. Kayshon Boutte was the one he was looking for. And that's going to lead to a 4th down.
So the hope is your 1/3 down conversion from really jump-starting a possession that ultimately leads in points. But after that 3rd down incompletion, kind of throws a wrench into those plans.
A fair catch. He's going to call it and take it right around his own 30-yard line. The Broncos offense and running back R.J. Harvey heading back to the field. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Nick's going to keep it on the zone read. And he will slide to a halt, but he does have the first down.
And this is really an area, Mike, that he excels in. He makes the right decision to keep the ball himself, and then when he hits the hole, he doesn't stop until he picks up the first down.
A run with Harvey. What more could you ask for on first down? Nice run of 8, setting up 2nd and short.
At this point, we're going to need 2 hands to count for how many yards he's averaged in this one, Mike. But unfortunately, it just hasn't been enough to overcome the deficit here at this stage of the game.
A run once more, that's Harvey. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
And while that run wasn't anything really to write home about, what it allows them to do, Mike, is keep everything in the playbook at their disposal. 3rd and short, now it's up to these coaches to dial up their best short yardage play and extend this drive.
They'll try to run here with Harvey. And that is going to be good enough. He's got that first down. So conversion, and they move it to the 46-yard line.
And the Broncos first down.
And these are the tough yards you judge it back by, Mike. We used to say to our backs, hey, even if we don't block everyone, you've got to be your own blocker. Like, you have to find a way to get 1 yard and keep this drive alive. And I think he's able to pick up that first down by about a yard or 2.
And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Patriots' 45-yard line.
So we are through 3. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 9. They send Sutton in motion. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
He's got his tight end. It's Ingram. And he's going to have the first down taken down after a short pickup of 5, but it will keep the drive going.
Critical 3rd down conversion there, Mike. Now brings up a fresh set of downs. You find yourself here trailing in the 4th quarter. They got to go down and score, and they got to score fast.
On first down, it's Harvey. And he's able to fight through 1 tackle here, pick up about 3. 2nd down coming up.
And as of right now, they find themselves trailing at the moment, but it's certainly not because of the ground game. I mean, he's averaging over 4 yards per carry. Just hasn't been enough to overcome some of their shortcomings elsewhere.
Now, a 2nd down throw for Nix. And a good job rallying to the football, holding just a gain of a yard and sets up 3rd down.
A gain of 2 on the play brings up 3rd and 4.
Now Nick's going to look to throw. That's over the middle and take it in. He's got it. And he will easily pick up the first down. They've got 1st and goal coming up.
For a Broncos first down.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and The age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
And that's going nowhere. Thrown down, literally and awkwardly, right at the line of scrimmage.
Second and goal at the 9-yard line.
9 yards from the end zone for second down and goal. They'll throw. It's Nix. That's out to the flat, and it's complete.
There's a lot of ways to get the ball in the hands of your running backs, and it's not always by just handing it to them. In this case, it's a simple check down, picks up a good gain, brings up third down.
Two plays at their disposal, but they'd love to get it right here on third and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will score! Game on! Tyler Bidet. Touchdown, Broncos. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance, but can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
Lutz for the extra point. The kick is good. Important extra point. The difference is just 3, a field goal here in the fourth quarter. So they've cut into the lead. Now just a field goal behind as they kick it off. He fields it at the 8. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Patriots offense and their running back, Travion Henderson, making their way back out there. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. On the ground, here is Henderson. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
28-yard line. 1-yard gain brings up second and 9.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's second down and 9. To throw now, Med. Here's a screen taken in by Henderson. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. That screen goes for 12, and that's a first down.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the fourth quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative. Just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out. Coming off that edge, Mike, you have to quickly determine, is this a pass or is it a run? And once he realized it was a run, he's able to shed his blocker, make the play, no gain.
On second down, here's a run with Stevenson. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, that second down play call is not real fancy, but at this point, Mike, they're in a battle with the clock. How much time can they run off and try to protect this lead? But now it brings up a pretty interesting third down. Can they keep the ball and finish this thing on offense, or are they going to have to punt it away and have their defense finish the game?
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down.
When you get the ball in this situation, what you're looking to do is not only end the drive with a touchdown to put the game away, but you'd love to chew up some clock. So with that incomplete pass now likely putting an end to this series, that's a big opportunity for them to try to close this game out.
That one hits at the 10. No one there to stop it, though. Bounds into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Back onto the field comes the Denver offense. They'll do so with 1st and 10. We'll try the right side with Harvey. Up the sideline at the 35. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 39-yard line.
A gain of 19
That's a gain of 19. And a very quick first down.
First down.
Well, really nice start here to the drive. Early down success. Every offensive coordinator is trying to find ways. How do we pick up first downs without having to get to third down? We see it here. Big explosive run. Now the rest of the drive unfolds.
And he's going to get himself up, but not before he picks up the first down.
For that play to work, Mike, you have to distort the defensive line at the point of attack. And what that means is the offensive lineman, you need one of them to win their block. Move the defender out of his gap. Because when you do, you can see there is a nice run lane for the back to hit.
On the bootleg, it's Nix. That's swung out to Harvey. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. That's 13 more on that play. And quickly, another first down.
And this is what modern-day running back looks like in the NFL. They want to be able to activate these players in the passing game, no different than they do with the tight ends and the wide receivers. When you look out there and you have a mismatch, you have a linebacker or a safety on your running back, he's expected to win, and that's exactly what he did here. All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it, but I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
Draw play here for Harvey. And he'll get this ahead. Gain of about 4, and it leads to third down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Throwing. Nix. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. A pickup there of 13. Good for a Denver first down.
Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
And how about the poise of this quarterback? You find yourself down here late in the 4th quarter, Mike, facing a tough third down. You've got to have it. But you know what? He calls the play, he breaks the huddle. He's like, you know what, Coach? I got it. That's a big-time throw to now keep this drive alive as they go down looking for that go-ahead touchdown.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 18-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 9. Again, it's Harvey. And he's followed up after a gain of a yard.
He's taken down at the 17-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 7.
Big play coming up. This is 3rd down. They send Sutton in motion. Here's Nix to throw. There's that man again. Another catch. And he's got the first down. A great job looking at engaging where the marker is and getting there to set up 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the
Nothing really
7-yard
fancy
line.
about that last completion, but what it does do, Mike, is now they are on the doorstep of the end zone. So now they've got to find a way to finish this long drive with a touchdown.
On 1st and goal, Harvey. And he will score. R.J. Harvey. Touchdown, Denver. What a game this has been. Back and forth we go, and that 4th quarter score changes the lead one more time.
And we've seen the lead go back and forth, Mike, and now the question is, can they get a stop? Can they find a way defensively to hang on to this lead and get themselves this big win?
Here's Lutz now for the extra point. The kick is good. Broncos have taken a 4-point advantage.
35. Patriots 31.
So now playing with the lead after that fourth quarter touchdown. Time to kick it back the other way. A return now from the 4. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field. The Patriots offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's May. Throw here down the field. Will fall incomplete.
Certainly not one of his better throws, but what I've loved out of this quarterback today, Mike, was just how aggressive he's remained throughout the entire course of the game. Continue to push the ball downfield. Even if it falls incomplete, it opens up everything else in this passing game, and they've had their way so far today.
Throwing on 2nd down, May. And he'll be brought down up past the 35-yard line. 14 yards on that pass play there. Good for a Patriots first down.
Patriots first down. A gain of 14. First down, Patriots.
Every quarterback's dream is, can I get the ball out of my hand as fast as possible and get it to a guy that can do the rest after the catch? And it seems like nowadays, throughout the entire league, the best offenses thrive in yards after the catch.
That one taken in by Douglas. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield. That is 14 for the second time. Back-to-back 14-yard gains and a first down.
As this game continues to come down to the wire, Mike, it just reminds us, this is where quarterbacks earn their keep. You are judged by how you play in these critical moments. In fourth quarter, down a score, it doesn't get much bigger than this.
On the handoff, it's Stevenson. And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down.
Stevenson, the ball carrier, brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and
8. Second down, 8 for the first down. Off the bootleg. Here's May. And he can't get away. They rally to the football defensively. Bring him down for no gain.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
2 minutes remain in the fourth quarter. We'll come back and finish this one off after this. Big play coming up, 3rd and 7, and the crowd on their feet. It's the tight end Henry in motion. They'll drop to throw, and the rush gets there. Down he goes.
If you can rush the passer, you can close out games, and that 3rd down sack is going to go a long way to closing this one out. Forces 4th and long, a desperate offensive possession. It's going to all come down to this 4th down try.
Here we go. This is 4th down. They're going. It's May. And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on down. The Broncos offense and running back R.J. Harvey heading back to the field. And this game not quite in hand yet. Still, all 3 timeouts left for the defense, so they can't just kneel this one out, but 1 first down will essentially end the game. And they'll take this down inside the 35. Now the Patriots are going to use their first timeout. They'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.